It was supposed to be just another quiet spring in the countryside. The village of Saint-Éloi was a whisper of a place, tucked between rolling hills and wildflower meadows. Time moved slowly there, like the clouds that drifted across the sky with nowhere urgent to be. Amélie had come for peace, for silence, for distance from the noise of the life she had left behind. She volunteered at the old hilltop cemetery, a place forgotten by most, where moss-covered gravestones leaned like tired elders and ivy wrapped around names long unread. She liked it that way. Solitude among the dead felt safer than chaos among the living. Each morning, she cleaned headstones, cleared weeds, and sometimes lit a candle for a name that hadn't been spoken in decades. But then she found it. It was a small grave near the edge of the grounds, half covered in earth. No flowers, no name. Unlike the others, it never grew moss, never gathered leaves. And even in the morning chill, the stone felt warm. Strangely warm. She brushed her fingers across its smooth surface. No date. Just a faint crack running across the middle like a wound that never healed. She asked the caretaker about it. "Oh," he muttered, his voice suddenly distant. "That one's always been there. We don't tend to it. Best leave it be." "But who's buried there?" The old man's eyes darkened. "No one. Not yet." Amélie thought he was joking. A strange country superstition, maybe. The villagers were full of old tales, but something about the way he looked at that grave, it unsettled her. That night, the wind howled through the shutters. Amélie lay in bed listening to the creaks and groans of the old cottage she was renting. It was just wind, just weather. But then she heard it. Scratch, scratch, faint, rhythmic, coming from outside. She sat up slowly, opened the curtain. There, across the meadow, was the graveyard. And that grave, the one with no name, stood out under the moonlight. The soil around it was moving. Not a lot. Just enough to see something. Shifting. As if the earth itself was breathing. Amélie told herself she imagined it. Shadows, maybe, or animals. But the next morning, when she returned, the soil was different. Disturbed. And there was something new on the stone. Just 5 letters. A M-A-L-I. The last letter trailed off, as if someone had been interrupted. Her name, but unfinished. She stumbled back, her breath caught in her chest. It wasn't possible. She had touched this stone yesterday, blank and smooth. Now it was trying to remember her. That night, she dreamt of hands. Pale, soil-stained hands reaching from the earth, pulling at the grass, clawing at her ankles. She awoke covered in sweat, the echo of her name still ringing in her ears. Amélie! The wind whispered it. The birds didn't sing that morning. The world felt paused. She returned to the grave. Against every instinct, every racing heartbeat, she knelt before it and watched. The crack in the stone had widened, and now the name was complete. Amélie Dubois, 1975 to 2025. That was her name. And 2025 was this year. She stumbled away, tripping over roots and headstones. Her mind reeled. She ran to the caretaker's cottage. "I saw it," she gasped. "My name. It's on the grave. This year, how is that even possible?" The old man didn't look surprised. "I told you," he said quietly. "It's not for anyone. Not yet. But it knows." It knows what? When you've been chosen. Amélie didn't sleep that night. She packed her bags. She would leave, go back to the city, back to traffic and noise and anything other than this quiet place where stones whispered and the dead wrote names before people died. But when she tried to start her car, the engine clicked. Once, twice, then silence. The road was washed out. The phone line dead. She was trapped. On the 3rd night, the scratching returned. Louder. This time, from under the floorboards. She fled to the graveyard. The only place she could go. The wind had stopped. The trees were still. She stood before the stone. It looked satisfied, as if it had waited long enough. The soil cracked. A hand broke through, then another. Amelie couldn't scream, couldn't run. Her legs refused. The figure pulled itself from the earth, thin, hollow-eyed, and wearing her face. Not rotting, not dead. Just wrong. The reflection stepped forward and whispered, "You were always going to take my place." The next morning, the villagers found Amélie kneeling at the grave. Still, eyes wide open. Not dead, not alive. The name remained on the stone, Amélie Dubois, unchanged, and underneath, newly etched in fine, precise letters, "The earth never forgets its promise. One must stay, so another can leave."